Welcome back. And after doing 3D transformations and looking into what is the difference between 3D transformations and 2D transformations, my present session focuses on projections. Right. So what exactly are we going to do in projection, and what does projection mean? Is what we are going to cover in this particular session. Okay, so students, whenever we are doing any 3D to 2D transformation, right? So any 3D object with X, Y, and Z, right, placed in world coordinate system. Now I want to present it in a 2D coordinate system with only X and Y. Right, so this is basically I am converting my 3D to 2D, and that is where my projections come into picture. Right, so the ideal definition of projection is your 3D scene is getting mapped to your 2D screen coordinates. Right, so 3D scene getting mapped to 2D coordinates is nothing but what we mean by projections. Okay, a simple illustration that we could give for projection is, now, when I say I am going to put it on 2D, that means I need a screen coordinate for it, or else rather we call it as projection plane for it. Okay. Now, I am looking towards the object from one side of the projection plane, right? I'm looking towards the object that is in 3D. Okay. Now, I want to get it mapped on my 2D system. So this is where this particular 3D object gets mapped on my 2D system if I am looking from this particular point to my 3D object. So this is what is required from projections basically. Okay, so what are the essential requirements for your projections are, now any object in 3D is called as P. So P is with X, Y, and Z. Right, now this is the object point in 3D. Okay, I need one plane, and that is a 2D plane. We call it as projection plane. Now this is your projection plane, or I also call it as view plane. Right, so projection plane or view plane, this is basically a 2D plane where my object is getting projected. Okay, now if I am looking at the object from this particular side, so this point is called as center of projection. I can write it as COP. So COP is the center of projection from where I look towards the object. Okay, and now comes the projector. The projector are the lines that are basically drawn between the center of projection and the object. Right, we don't draw it, these are just illustrative lines that are being assumed. Right, so a center of projection, if I look from the center of projection towards this point, the direction ray that is being formed is called as projector. Right, so these are the essential requirements whenever I want to go in for projection. I need the point that's in 3D. I need the projection plane that is 2D where my object is getting projected. I need the center of projection from where I am looking towards the object, and I need the lines of projections that are called as projector. So projector is basically the lines of projections. So that is your projector. So these are the essential requirements whenever I want to do any type of projection. Right, now students, we will see what are the types of projections available to us. Right, so broadly we classify the types of projections into two types. One is parallel projection and the second one is perspective projection. Okay, we look at it one by one. So when I say parallel projection, the center of projection is at infinity. That means the COP is at infinity, and the projectors, and what are these projectors? Projectors are nothing but the lines of projection. The lines of projections are parallel to each other. These are the two important points for parallel projection. Similarly, for perspective projection, the center of projection is a finite point and the projectors intersect at center of projection. We will see this with the help of a diagram, and what we can find out here is projection plane, the object in 3D, right? And I am looking at the object from this side. So this becomes my center of projection, right? The projectors, that is the lines of projection, that is from every vertex of my point to the center of projection, whatever points I can see, right? And then the object is getting made up out here. So this is my 3D object here, and this is the 2D image that has been formed on the projection plane with the help of center of projection and the lines of projection. So this type of projection is perspective projection. Okay, and the second type is the same object in 3D, the view plane in 2D, right? But then now the difference is I don't have a center of projection here, right? It is at infinity, and the lines of projection, that is the projectors, are parallel to each other and they don't converge to a point as far as perspective projection is concerned. So now in this type of projection, they are not converging to a point, rather they are parallel to each other. So this is parallel projection. Okay, so these are the two most important types or else broad categories of projection, that is perspective projection and parallel projection. We also try to show you the same thing using an example. And now this is a 3D line that is with P1 and P2. Okay, and now my view plane is somewhere out here, okay, with the center of projection being here. So what will happen, students, when I look at the object from the center of projection, that is P1 and P2, I get some lines of projections and these are called as projectors, and they converge to this point, that is center of projection. Right? So wherever they meet, that is your center of projection because they are converging to a point. And wherever they intersect on my view plane, that becomes my final output. So what's my final output? Wherever it is converging, wherever it is intersecting. So this is P1 dash and this is P2 dash. Okay, so this is your 3D line and this is your 2D image for it. And what is this? This is nothing but the view plane where I am getting it projected, or the projection plane, right? So this is a very nice example of perspective projection. Okay. Similarly, if I have a 3D line with P1 and P2, right? And I have the projection plane being somewhere out here. Okay, now if I'm looking at the object from this side, I don't have the lines of projections. Rather, my lines of projections are parallel to each other. Okay, and now wherever they intersect my view plane, I get the final output there. So it is P1 dash and P2 dash. Okay, so this becomes a very good example of parallel projection. Now I hope perspective and parallel projection are very much clear to you all. Okay, now the most important thing to note down here is when I say perspective projection, as you could see the output here, right? The size of your 3D object is getting reduced in case of perspective projection, but in case of parallel projection, the size is remaining intact. Okay, so the size of the object remains intact in parallel projection, and which is changing in perspective projection. So this is a point of discussion, as in, so which one's better? Perspective is better or parallel is better? We will see it in our next slide. What is better? A perspective is better or a parallel is better? Okay. Now, here are some important properties of perspective projection and parallel projection. Okay, so this is your perspective projection. right? And this is your parallel projection. Okay, so now we see that the parallel lines do not necessarily remain parallel in case of perspective projection. Okay, so if the lines are parallel to each other, it could not be parallel in case of the 2D image that is being getting formed. So in parallel projection, the parallel lines remains parallel. The ratios are not preserved, as in the width to height ratio of any object is not preserved in case of perspective projection. The ratios are preserved in case of parallel projection, right? So if I say that I am having a rectangle in case of perspective projection, and the ratio is something like this, that the width is more than the height. So ideally, the width and height ratio in my output could be different. It could be this. So this will be my 2D image of the resultant 3D real image that is available to me. But then when I pick up parallel projection, the width and height ratio is maintained very properly. Okay, so the advantage of perspective projection is the size varies inversely with the distance. Right, so that means if I say that, I will just go back to my previous slide for this. Now, the size remains inversely proportional to the distance that we are maintaining. Now, if I say that the object is at a distance of some value from the view plane, and if any point in time I move the object somewhere out here, okay, now what will happen? The size will get reduced. But then if I move the center of projection ahead, then the size will increase, right? So if the distance of your center of projection from your view plane is reduced, the size of your image increases, right? But if the distance of center of projection is increased, then in that case the size of your image reduces. So that is what we mean by the size is inversely proportional to the distance, and that's why your image looks more realistic. Let the size get reduced, but still your image looks more realistic in case of perspective projection, and in case of parallel projection it does not look realistic. Okay, and when I say parallel projection, it is mostly used for CAD automations, CAD animations, and architectural drawings, wherein I want to draw the object with perfect dimensions, and I'm not taking care of the realistic image. Now, a very good example of perspective projection is our human eye. Our human eye is the perfect example of perspective projection. Now, what happens in case of human eye is, students, you all know that if the distance of my object increases, the size reduces. The size of the image formed reduces. So human eye and perspective projections are the same, they go hand in hand. So more realistic approach is perspective projection rather than parallel projection.